Mainoo with the winner in the 97th minute of the game. What a young man, what a starlet, what a performance from him. And to win it like that, his first Premier League goal, our best player of late, absolutely majestic from that young man in a 7-goal thriller. Lots to dissect, lots to go through, but I am absolutely over the moon with so many aspects of that game. There's some things not so much that I will delve into, but I am celebrating that win for so many reasons. I feel hard done by the referee. I thought there was a little bit of a mistake towards the end from the manager taking off so many of our attackers and bringing on so many defenders, attacking that last corner that we didn't need to do. I thought, what are we doing? We're being too negative, and then we're being too open, and we concede. And did we throw away? Did we throw away what should have been an easy win? We should have killed them off. Have Man United collapsed again? Will we be ridiculed for a lack of resilience, a lack of belief? Would we be torn apart for our inability to maintain composure? But then up steps the youngest man on the pitch, one of the most talented players on the pitch, and scores one of the best goals you're probably ever going to see him score in a Man United shirt. There may be some bigger goals in bigger games on bigger occasions. But in terms of the technical ability, the way he passed that into the back of the net, it was absolutely tip-top form. And for me, I want to praise the team tonight. I was so proud of so many elements of that performance. I looked at that and thought, that's what Man United is about. The way we attacked, the way we created, the dominance we had for large parts of the game. Now, we know we have resilience issues. We know we have some mentality issues. And you saw that as they scored some goals. But let's not get it twisted. They shouldn't have even had an opportunity to score a goal. As we all saw in the game, maybe one of the dodgiest penalties. You can see it here. I can't actually play the clip. Zero contact at all. And the way he dives and throws both legs up there, absolute disgrace, really. And the fact that this was given, and when you watch the replay, there's barely any contact on the backdrop of last night's penalties not being given with far superior contact. I thought Man United were really hard done by in that situation. But I've got to credit the players for persevering twice. McTominay getting us 3-1 up. Then we go and collapse again, and you think to yourself, how has this happened? How have we done this? We did it all the time in the Champions League. There's major problems with this side, but we stepped up again. And the reason why I'm happy about that is because although I have my own personal opinion on how things are going at Man United, what I want to happen for the future, that doesn't stop me wanting Manchester United to win. And the fact that we got through it the way we did, I was so impressed. The overall game, look, there's loads of things to talk about in this game. We'll get on to young Mainoo. Rasmus Hojlund, 3 goals in his last 3 Premier League games. That man is starting to score. And if Garnacho would have just released that pass to him that little bit sooner and not overhit it past his body, he would have got a brace tonight. You start supplying that guy with 2 or 3 proper chances to score every game, and you will see this man bag plenty goals in the Premier League and for Manchester United. I thought his overarching play tonight, Rasmus Hojlund, was excellent. The way he held up, the way he brought others into the game was brilliant. I didn't think he should have come off. I thought that was I know we've got a game at the weekend. We've got the shortest turnaround of any Premier League club, but in the top 6, I mean. But I was really impressed with Rasmus. He shouldn't have come off. Of course, the big focus tonight, Marcus Rashford. Would he start? Should he start? He did. So he had to perform. He had to deliver. And that opening goal was excellent. The dribbling from Garnacho, the pass into Hojlund, the dummy from Bruno Fernandes, and then Rashford just instinctively, calmly, precisely passing that ball into the back of the net. And Rashford's overall performance I was impressed with. Kept it simple. Used the overlap, which led to the second goal. Used it on numerous occasions tonight. Mixed up dribbling at his fullback and playing the sensible pass, making the right decisions far better. And of course, the weight of the world was on his shoulders tonight. He had to respond, and he did. Performance was excellent. Scored the goal, was heavily involved in creating, of course, the second goal for Manchester United. So I thought he really deserved a huge amount of credit tonight. I also want to shout out the defensive. Now, we conceded 3 goals tonight, which you could look at and you could argue and say, well, a team that concedes 3 goals, how can you praise the defending? Well, the first goal was a penalty that should never have been given, in my personal and humble opinion. The Kilman goal was the first real mistake they made in the whole game. And then I got why we did, because he's coming back from injury, but taking off Lisandro Martinez, I know we had to. It looks like there may be a reoccurrence of the injury, some swelling on his foot. It could just be precautionary, and I hope that it is. But taking him off, it unsettled us a little bit. And the fact there was nobody leading, nobody stopped us pushing forward, that led to that Pedro Neto goal, it was annoying, because I thought up until that last 5-10 minutes of the game, it was a really good, solid defensive display. We were so good out of possession. We got back into shape well. All of that orchestrated by Lisandro Martinez, and we really missed him when he went off. And the late goal, in my view, really proved that. But I was really impressed with him. I thought Casemiro, a very dodgy opening 2 minutes. And then after that, he was majestic. Some of his quick passing, some of his sort of shadowing of the not shadowing, protecting really of the back line was absolutely brilliant to see. Him and Kobe changing places and sort of maneuvering themselves around the pitch. There's a really nice balance to that midfield. Again, on paper, he gave the penalty away, so all the websites that give you a score out of 10 will mark him down, but it was never a foul, in my opinion. And then after that, you've got to look for me at the man of the match today, young Mainoo. Not just for his winning goal, but the overarching performance, some of the breakups of play, some of the winning back of possession, his positional sense, his passing, his movement, and everything surrounding it. Young Mainoo was absolutely top quality this evening. And since he's come into the Man United first team, he's a player that in the summer, we get some predictions right, we get some predictions wrong. But he was a player that I looked at in the summer and said, a lot of people were saying, go and buy Lavia. Go and buy Lavia for £50 million. My view is Mainoo is every bit as good as Lavia. Could end up with development being even better. You don't need to spend that money on him. Doesn't mean, as per Standard FC would say, well, you should be buying better than him. Of course, we should go out in the summer and buy some better midfielders, but he should be part of the plans of this midfield. He is made for this level of the game. His performance was tip-top. His passing, his spatial awareness was just brilliant to see. He's one of the best young midfield players I've seen come through at Manchester United since Paul Scholes. He gives me Paul Scholes vibes. I actually think the one thing he's got, he may never have Paul Scholes' passing range. He may never have Paul Scholes' vision. And he may not develop into being a player of Paul Scholes' level. I'm talking about the ability, not his consistent level of performance. But he gives me those vibes. That is how good he is. If he works hard, if he keeps on the straight and narrow, if he gets his head down, and if Man United becomes a more stable place to work, this is an absolute star in the making for Manchester United. He's out of this world, and he has goals in him. There is goals in this young man. A lot of people misprofiled him at the start of the season. He is not an out-and-out DM. He is a number 8. He is a number 8 that does have goals in him. So, as I say, really impressed with young Mainoo tonight in every facet of his game. And the winning goal is just a cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake. It really, really was. But as I say, it was a strange night to be a Man United fan. There are a few areas I'm disappointed in. I'm annoyed we attacked with such heavy numbers in the 93rd minute, 94th minute, which led to Pedro Neto's goal. The amount of space he had was absolutely ridiculous. We defended impeccably well the whole game, literally until the 85th minute, where we just switched off on the set piece and we conceded. We should never have had that penalty go against us, in my humble opinion. I thought that was a travesty of a decision. I know the rest of the football world won't back Man United on this because they never do. The only other hairy moment in the game, again, by the way, I thought goalkeeper could have done a lot better if he was on his toes and positionally was better with Neto's goal. I thought Onana was poor for that. there was also a ball cleared off the line by Lissandro Martinez where Onana's nowhere. And if that ball wasn't going on target and wasn't cleared off the line, it would have been a penalty. It's only the fact that the shot was off. And generally speaking, if an attacker gets their shot off or their header off and it's going in, or it just goes wide and then they're fouled, typically they don't get it. So I understand why that wasn't given. But and I do think as well, the substitutions towards the end, bringing on Johnny Evans, bringing on Maguire, taking off Rasmus Hojlund, taking off Garnacho, taking off Rashford even, as early as they did. I didn't like those decisions by the manager. I thought they were a little bit too negative. I thought they send the wrong message sometimes. They send the message of, we're going to really close up shop. I think it gets the other players up, gets the fans up, because I think, whoa, they're nervous. They're a little scared. They're a little bit worried. So I didn't like those elements tonight, and they deserve to be criticized. But overall, we dominated the ball for large parts. We passed and moved the ball well. We created ample amount of chances. I mean, we scored 4 goals. You can't really ask for more than 4 goals. Man City, over the last 7 years in the Premier League, have averaged 2.4 goals per game. So asking for more than 3 or 4 goals per game is beyond greedy. It makes, do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So we scored 4. Shouldn't have conceded the penalty. Definitely should have done better for the last 2 goals. And I think that deserves criticism. But overall, I was really impressed tonight with Man United. So many elements, especially fighting back through the adversity, not crumbling. And maybe part of that is the fact that we had the majority of our players back. It's probably the strongest team I've seen us pick all year. We always look better with Garnacho on the right-hand side, and that's something that we have to ensure that we keep doing 110%. But overall, as I say, as a Man United fan tonight, very, very happy indeed. And I want to shout out Marcus Rashford as well. I've heavily criticised him this week. I stand by everything that I've said about him, what he did, his lack of performances this year. I wouldn't have allowed him back for this game. That's me, but he's here. I always want Man United to win. That's why I'm so frustrated with what he's done. But he stepped up tonight. He performed. And if he wants to get Man United fans back on side, if he wants to get the media and the pressure off of his shoulders, turn up to training, work hard, put a smile on your face, start scoring them goals again, young man. You start doing that and things will soon be forgotten. And that's just the way football fans are. We're fickle in that degree. And I was really impressed with his attitude and his performance tonight. And I want to give credit where credit is due, because I think that is the fair thing to do. I'm going to be bringing Phil on a minute. KJ's joining me as well. It was meant to be KJ's night off tonight, but he's jumping on. This year from VK says, scoreline flatters Wolves badly. Yeah, like I think it probably does in many ways. A dodgy penalty, a mistake from us at the back. And I mean, I still don't actually understand where 9 minutes of added time came from. Genuinely, I'm shocked by where 9 minutes came from. And they added a further 3, maybe nearly 4 minutes on top of that for 1 goal being scored. So, yeah, there was a lot of that tonight, which I didn't think went Manchester United's way. And I think it's frustrating. Josh here says, what an amazing game and win, but it should never have been that close. We need to be clinical on the transition. Mainoo's goal, oh my word, calm as you like. Josh, my brother, hope you're very, very well over there in NYC. You're absolutely spot on. In every single which way, you are spot on when you say that. We should have killed the game off. Bruno should have scored. And I do think Rasmus Hojlund should have scored. But I'm not blaming him for that opportunity. It was an overhit late pass from Garnacho. Those 2 opportunities, we should have made it 3. We should have made it 4. And this would never have happened. I agree. Nabil here says, justice has been served. The rest are just a disgrace. They will destroy the Premier League. No wonder the UK lost the world in the past and need the Indian PM to save it. I mean, I'm not going to get involved in any of that, but thank you, Nabil. I'm not going to get involved in the end bit. It's a can of worms I don't want to open. I don't vote. It doesn't really matter who and what Richie Sunak is. I don't vote for the Tories, so I don't really care, bruv. So I don't know what else to say. Do you know what I mean? It's irrelevant. I'll say this about VAR. I love VAR when it first came in, and I thought about this tonight, and this hits the nail on the head for me. It's the clear and obvious stuff that's killing it. The first couple of years, even though that was the protocol, they just looked at decisions and went, that ain't a pen, and they overturned it. Or, oh my God, that is a penalty, and gave it. Now I think they're actually going through this clear and obvious protocol, which is a nonsense. They look at it and go, ref, did you see contact? Yes, I saw contact. Is there contact? Yeah, very, very small amount. Well, therefore, it can't be a big error. We've got to give it. When actually, in reality, the way Neto's legs went back, if there is, I mean, you don't see the sock move, you don't see the shin pad move. If there is contact, it's a hair's breadth. That's not enough to make you go down, because the law of the game that's been explained to us is there's a higher threshold for a foul in the box. Then you look at last night's two that weren't given to Chelsea with far more superior levels of contact, completely not given. Yeah, you're right. Maxi here says, as a Gooner, I can't lie. I was hoping for a United loss, but hats off to Mainoo and Hojlund, two genuine superstars in the making. Thank you, Maxi. I agree with both of those players could be stars. Disgusting penalty against us. Onana needs to go. He is terrible. Great performance by Mainoo, Varane, and Martinez. I agree with everything in there. Again, I said I would have sold Onana this month. When he went off the AFCOM, I wouldn't have even told him. You see that meme of the guy turning up to training? I think it's for an NFL team, and the code don't work on the door. That's what I'd have done. I've noticed a significant improvement. Okay, your mic's loud. Your wingers are lifting their heads faster and actively seeking to pass to Hojlund. Mate, it needs to happen. You can't have a striker like Hojlund and not pass to him. It's crazy. Enzo Fernandez, are you watching that impact? I agree with you. Rashford should have been left out, but we don't know the details of his mental state. Maybe the club assessed leaving him out would compound the problem. We need to sell him in the summer. Look, everyone knows where I stand on the situation with him. And my mind's open to being changed again. I just want it to be the right decision. I just want us to be able to get to a point where Rashford's playing like he did tonight, 6, 7, 8 times out of 10, like last year. We can't have this one season on, one season off, because we need to improve as a team. So sentimentality for the player goes out the window. But tonight, really impressive. The decision-making is shocking from the wingers. Delo has stepped up a bit. VAR is absolutely woeful. 2 decisions yesterday, then give that. I agree. I agree, Annie. Subs were brilliant. Wolves opened up. Trap worked. Listen, that's an argument. It's not the one I would use. But listen, I appreciate it. And Charles here says, it's an easy fix, VAR. Just don't tell the VAR what the on-field decision was. It's irrelevant if VAR is there to make the right decision. That's a great, because they sit in complete darkness, and then, not dark, they kept the light on, and then the decision comes in, they just get to see the replay. That's clever. No communication, and then they just say it is or it isn't a penalty. And then the referee can decide whether or not he wants to go and look at the screen. Maybe that would work. I like that. How can the FA be this dumb to not talk to normal people? And that seems like a good idea. I like that. It may not work, but it's a good idea to look at. The thing has come to drop. Onana was dominated the whole game, but Wolves scored 3 somehow. Bruno had a stinker. Mainoo is poor. I didn't think Bruno had a stinker at all. Some of his passes, some of his balls. I thought he played well tonight, Bruno. I don't know. He should have scored a goal, but I thought his performance was good. Anthony sub nearly cost us the game. Oh no. That man's weak, bruv. Honestly, you could blow him over. And picture this, Mainoo, Rice and Bellingham in the England midfield this summer. No joke. It's just delightful. It's just delightful. Honestly, the technical ability, the power, the speed, the quality in that midfield. Do you know what's crazy as well? You would say in terms of stardom, Gerrard, Lampard and Scholes were probably bigger superstars. But I think those 3 together collectively would be a better midfield 3. There's balance in that. Look, I've got Phil coming on, making his debut on the terrace tonight. KJ's here. And back by popular demand, I'm really glad to see him backstage, actually. Is my brother, Neeks, is here with us tonight, joining us on the show. Welcome, gentlemen.
Evening.
I mean, I love this football club. It felt like old school Man United giving me heart attacks tonight. KJ, what did you make of it, bro?
Am I back? Is my mic muted? Yeah. Okay, flipping out.
I unmuted you.
Flipping out. Guys, this club can't do anything easy. We can't do anything easy. Flipping, cruising, and next thing you know, dodgy pen, and then another goal from a set piece, a counter attack, and I thought we bottled it. I thought we bottled it. I was like, another game, another moment where these players show that they haven't got the mentality. And up steps our player of the season. I don't care what anyone has to say to me. He has been our player of the season. Whenever he's played, he barely puts a foot wrong. He's made 1 or 2 mistakes all entire season. My son, flipping hobby made it. This kid, I love this kid. You see that goal, yeah? That goal is levels. Meeks, I remember we had a conversation before, like, where does he play? And many of us are saying he's an 8, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen anything to say that he is an 8. Not to say that he's not good, but to say, is he an 8? Is he not? That is a number 8 right there. You see that, the technical ability, the power, the speed, the strength, the finishing. That is a number 8 midfielder. That is a midfielder you can build a team around. I'm telling you, this kid is special, man. Absolutely special. And I'm so glad he got that moment, because people always love to hate on Mainoo. They love to wait for him to make a mistake. They want him to fail because he's from the academy, because he's not out here. He's not like the world's best player. Like, give the guy some time. Give him a chance to grow. Every time he plays, he gets better and better. Nah, man, I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we won a game. And Rashford scored. Hojlund scored. You know what I'm saying? Mainoo scoring a goal. McTominay coming in. Hey, man, it's just for the first time in ages. I saw that game. I'm like, yo, we should have been 5-0 up in the first half.
Yeah.
And I wasn't too frustrated. It's only towards the end of the game where obviously we make it hard for ourselves that the frustration and the worry comes back. But we got over the line this time. So overall, I'm happy. This is only a quick one for me because I got to go back to doing what I was doing. But yeah, I just wanted to come on. Mainoo, man, he just makes me smile, man. He just makes me smile.
I wish we could play replays, because I just looked at the goal again on this screen, and you see him pick it up in midfield, beats 1, beats 2, beats the 3rd man, and then buries it into the bottom corner. It's just his whole life, he's probably dreamed of that moment, a Fergie time winner. But again, I said he may never score technically a better goal for Man United ever again, Neeks. It was just phenomenal, wasn't it?
You know what it is? It's the composure. When you consider it's when the dying embers of the game, we've thrown it away, the pressure is on. He like, everyone must be feeling the pressure, because you're so dejected by the fact that you've gone 2-0 up, 3-1 up, and Wolves are now level out of nowhere, really level in the game. And the composure, as you say, to put it through the guy's legs, drop the shoulder, and then never thrash at it when it comes now. He takes an extra touch just to shift it to his right and curl it into the far corner. 18 years old, Premier League match, 97th minute at 3-3. Like, where do you get that composure from? That's it's levels, and it's I don't think there's a player who I would have been happier scoring that goal today. I think, if Bruno scores, it's like, well, yeah, Bruno, we know you can do that. You probably should have done better early in the game. If Rashford's still on the pitch, well, you owed us that because of what you've been up to in the last few weeks. If Anthony, finally you can score a goal. But Mainoo don't deserve to be in this crap that we are as a club right now. So for him to get that moment, that kind of that gem at the top, I think he just deserves it. On the back of the FA Cup as well, he's been the shining light this season, and I think he deserved that goal. And we deserve to win. So I'm happy that we got the win, and I'm happy that he got us that win in the end.
Phil, do you echo that? Because there's a lot of players where you've got the fan base divided on so many players that are out on that pitch tonight.